We want to thank and support one of our sponsors, Seraphic Skincare, which was founded in 2019 by a San Diego esthetician with a passion for providing effective exfoliation options to clients. During 2020, when the demand for practical and affordable skincare solutions from home were at an all-time high, Seraphic Skincare pivoted and launched an innovative line of Korean-style exfoliating products that could be delivered straight to the customer's doors. Their original body mitt, made from a unique plant fiber that deeply exfoliates water-softened skin, has over 25,000 reviews on Amazon and offers a game-changing exfoliating experience that leaves your skin baby soft, I promise you. Seraphic Skincare now features optimized exfoliators for the face, back, and bikini area, as well as high-quality derma razors and a luxurious moisturizer for post-exfoliation. I can tell you that I've used these mitts and they are really, really effective. I love the little face one. You like put your two fingers in and it's gentle, but it definitely exfoliates. And the one for skin, water softened on your body, really is amazing because I live in a very dry climate, so using their mitt is a game changer. Anyway, this is wonderful, and you go to seraphic-skincare.com, and Seraphic is spelled Seraphic hyphen skincare.com, and order your exfoliation mitts.
Hi, I'm Mariel Hemingway. Welcome to Out Comes the Sun podcast. I've got my partner, Melissa Yamaguchi, here. And we have an amazing guest today. First of all, I reached out to her a few years ago and embarrassingly said, oh my God, I was totally fangirl. She's really very funny. Anyway, we have Valerie Bertinelli on. And, she's been a part of both Melissa and I's, past. We were kind of all growing up together. We all kind of come from the same generation. Anyway, it's an honor to have you on our little tiny itsy bitsy Out Comes the Sun podcast, which is for my foundation. Melissa and I founded a foundation called the Mariel Hemingway Foundation, which is for mental health. And you're so outspoken. You are, when it comes to really sharing feelings, you are one of the most brave and courageous humans that I have seen in quite some time, because you're just not afraid to say how you feel. And I think it helps so many people. So first of all, thank you for that. And
Thank you.
Do you think about that when you're reaching out on Instagram?
Unfortunately, sometimes I don't. And my manager gets calls like, is she okay? Do we need to call somebody?
Right.
I'm like, I'm just feeling. And I'm letting, because the feedback that I get is, I feel the same way. Thank God you said it out loud or whatever. And I just, when you reached out to me, it was in 2018. I remember exactly where I was when you reached out. I had cried for the first time on my Instagram stories because I had come home from a long shoot. And, oh boy, I don't want to get in trouble, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to say it. I was really seeing the start of the disintegration of my marriage, my second marriage. And he had said something to me that just floored me. And my mental capacity at that time, even though I was going to therapy and doing all that, it just I just felt like saying, I'm sad and I'm sad. And I didn't want to say why, because sometimes that's not I can't blame him for what I was going through. And in fact, what I can do is thank him for bringing me to my knees to where I've been brought to this year. It's been a long road to get here. Because without that, I wouldn't have started taking care of my, for lack of a better term, inner child.
Yeah.
Because she's been neglected for so long. And
Yeah.
And she deserves the love that she never thought that she deserved.
Deserved.
And it started in childhood. It started, that's all childhood trauma, I think, where it starts for everyone.
Well, it's,
Or
yeah.
I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you say that, because I mean, like what we're discovering is that, there's this whole process of really, if you don't address that inner child, she's running the show. You're 60 years old. You're like, holy crap, you're still right. Like this
You're
10-year-old,
still
this
doing
five-year
this? Yeah.
5-year-old girl
Yeah.
that felt abandoned or this or that or undeserving keeps running the show. And I talked about that in an interview today. I talked about like the fact that we need to address, you need to tell your story, you need to get it
You
out
must.
there. You must,
You must.
because then it becomes a story, and then you can let it go because you realize, oh my God,
Yes.
I'm not there anymore.
Right. And I think by talking about it, my whole thing is, okay, I'm in so much pain right now. So, but I've been used to being in pain. I have the very high tolerance for pain, emotional, physical, everything. So I can do this. I can get through this. I'm a trooper. I'm strong.
Yeah.
And it comes to a point where the little girl, it says, you know what? I don't want to be strong anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to be loved. Just somebody
Yeah.
love me. And sometimes when that love comes from outside sources, it can bandage something for a while. But that little girl needs to be loved by
Yeah.
you.
By you.
Or that little boy must be loved by you. And until that happens, you're going to keep looking for outside sources of love that won't do you any good, that will hurt you. That will really put you in a lot of pain for a lot of people. There are people that are in relationships where that love is nurtured and you're still able to nurture the little girl or the little boy.
Yeah.
I had not found that. So by knowing that I was going to be in pain, by sitting in this pain, or do I go through the pain and the challenges of trying to heal myself so that I can get on the other side of it and heal my heart and heal my little girl? So that's what I'm working through right now with my therapy, and I'm taking some online courses that are fascinating. The Hoffman process has
Oh my gosh,
helped me a
yes.
lot.
We did that.
Yes, we did that
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
We about
Hello.
did it too. Yeah.
Hello.
I only took a weekend course, and I just had another little course last night, and I'm taking another one next week, and I'm hoping to eventually go up there.
Me
But I'm
too.
telling you,
Even though we're
wow.
not supposed to know anybody, can we all go together?
Yes. Oh my
I'll
God.
pretend I don't know you. I want to do that too. It's amazing, and it's so
It is.
basic. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Melissa and I both did it, and we were both like,
Yep.
"Oh my God, this is so." It's actually
No.
quite simple.
Au contraire, my friend. We were supposed to do that together, and you left.
Oh yes,
So I
did.
was all alone. We were going to pretend like we didn't know each other at the same time. I'm in
Online.
the room alone, not knowing what to expect. And my daughter walks in, and all I know is that she sees me dancing. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, but I was standing just enough outside of my laptop camera that I could only throw my arm in every once in a while. And I was like, "Just go away." And I kept standing it, go away. And I kept going in. Yeah. So if I go up there, I want confirmation and contract sign that people are going with me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was talking to somebody else, and I was like, I just don't want to dance in front of everybody. I always
know.
hated dancing, but yet that movement of your body,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and getting that energy out, because everything is energy.
Yeah.
And getting
Yes.
that out is so helpful.
It's so helpful. And also, not only energy, we physicalize our trauma. So the only way to get rid of it, and it's why we have pain or problems and things come up physically, but to actually get that, it's kind of primal scream. I mean, I was ridiculous. Bobby kept coming in going, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm fine."
I so badly want to scream sometimes, because I think screaming is really good for you.
I do too.
But I have to get in my car, because I have my dogs back here, and it'll scare the hell out of my dogs, or my cats. So I can't do it in the house. I have no place private to go in my, where there's not an animal somewhere.
No, I know.
I don't want to scare them, so I have to do it in the car.
Bobby came in and actually said that the dog was under the bed. The cats were like freaking out by the window. I was like, oh, well, but all in trying to get healthy.
In the name of healing.
Yes.
And I want everybody to just not be embarrassed by their pain, because we're all human. We all have had trauma. I don't care how perfect
I
your
agree.
childhood was. The trauma is just because as a child you are what's the word for it? Everything revolves around you. You're very egocentric, not in a rude, gross way that narcissists
Right.
can be, but you're egocentric in a way that if you aren't touched when you're crying, or if the bond you're making with someone is out of the room, you don't know what's wrong as a child. You just know that you feel abandoned.
Yeah.
You don't feel loved. And it's nothing your parents are doing wrong. I mean, but just the simple form of that, learning to feel emotions and do for yourself is a process as an infant growing into a child. And I had parents that loved me dearly. I know they did, but they were grieving, because when my mom was pregnant with me, my brother Mark died, and he was only 17 months old. So I know that I was born into a grieving family. And there's just no getting around that,
Yeah.
And so my role, as I chose as a human in a soul and having a human experience, I chose to make everything better. If I'm the perfect baby, if I'm the perfect this, I'm the perfect that, then everybody will be better. And I learned to see cues, and okay, I have to make this person happy. And I've gotten to the point now at 62. It's like, I can't fucking help you. I can't. I got to make myself happy. I
know,
want
it's
to
true.
be liked, but I also need to make myself happy now without being selfish. But yes, selfish.
But it's not selfish. To take care of yourself is not selfish. Go ahead, Melissa.
What do you think for women? What do you think at what point do we have to go through the grieving and the pain to be able to get to a point where we give ourselves permission to not fix everything all the time? Because yes, you share what you just shared. Your childhood is, I've heard Mariel say before. So there's this thing like, if I could just make it better. And I grew up in a family where I had two older brothers. I was the only girl and the baby, and my middle brother is deaf. Was born deaf, and so there was a lot of. And my mother was an activist, civil rights activist, and there's a lot going on in the house at all times. So I never really felt like I needed to run around, but I do suffer from what I've heard you talk about in some of your interviews and read in your book, and then some of the stuff that Mariel has shared before. This guilt of not taking care of everything. And that's an affliction we have as women anyway. So
yes,
what did what did you do? What permission did you give yourself, or how did you get to the spot where you start thinking, like, I love the title of the book, Enough Already. Like, enough.
Right.
Like, when did you give yourself permission, and how do we help other women?
I'm still
do
giving
that?
myself permission. There's not I don't think there's a finite place of where I think some days it's easier to give myself permission. Other days it's not. Like when I was crying for the first time in 2018 on camera as myself, not as a character, and Mariel reached out to me and said, "You really look like you're in pain. Let me tell you some things that have worked for me." And I was like, oh my God, it's Mariel Hemingway. I love you. And I was following her on Instagram anyway. So I love your posts. I love your animals. I love, when you go to Idaho. I love all your posts on Instagram.
Thank you.
I took you up on your suggestion, and it helped a lot. And I think that just by knowing that my pain was normal, and that it's okay to feel it. In fact, it's better to feel it. But I think because this divorce has been so wicked, and it's really brought me to my knees, that but I think of that as a gift, because I get to learn so much about myself through this. I get to learn so much about my character. I get to learn so much about my healing. I get to talk to my inner child more. So this wicked part of my life is actually very healing for me. And I get to choose every day whether I'm thankful and in gratitude, or whether I just want to be bitchy and just scream. And I choose to be grateful and be thankful, because I also get to learn so much. I'm happen to having a good day today. There are days where I get up and I'm like, God, fuck, and I'm like, oh. And there's other, days that I have to remember that I can't control everything. I can only control my responses to whatever's happening in my life. And that's where equanimity comes in. And that's my favorite word. I want to find peace in all of the craziness. I want to be the peace in the
Yeah.
craziness. And it's a work in progress. I got to tell you that for sure.
But that's what I love about you, because that's so true. I mean, that's why I reached. I must have known. I mean, Melissa said it. You were the fixer. So was I in my family. That's exactly what I did. My family was they were all like losing their shit. Two older sisters that were on drugs and misbehaving, and they were all messed up in addiction and depression and all that stuff. And I thought, at age whatever, oh, I'm the person that's going to make everything okay. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and clean up blood and broken glass, thinking, it's all, if I make it clean, we have a chance at starting new tomorrow. So I get that. And those things are so, I just love it. But my point is, we didn't know each other, and yet we share that same human experience, and we all do at some level, right? So when people say, oh, I've never, I don't have any depression, I don't have any this, I'm like, well, really? Because I got that very much. But maybe you don't. Maybe you had this beautiful upbringing, and that can be amazing.
Enough.
Enough.
Maybe that can be enough.
Maybe that can be enough.
And because then sometimes it's not the family, then it's environmental, then something
Yes.
happens in school, or I mean, it's always something.
Exactly right.
We have
Exactly.
so much.
There's stuff. There's stuff happening
There's
all the
stuff.
time. I mean, it's
all
amazing.
the time.
I have to give some snaps out to Melissa, because she's one of the most amazing mothers in the world. Like, her two kids, her kids they're not little anymore, but they're younger than my two girls. And I sufficiently screwed my girls up, but they're fabulous right now. But Melissa I've watched her be such a conscientious mother to two kids who really honestly might say they're not depressed or not whatever, because she's created a very balanced environment, and yet being very authentic with her own whatever shortcomings or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I just want to I want to say that, so there are people out there being healthy parents and being having raising healthy kids, and I think that's what makes me sad about today, the world we live in, is that we're not taught how to do simple things. And if we're not taught how to do the simple things, then how are we meant to go into the world and, function in relationship, in a marriage? Like, I was in a marriage for 24 years and I was miserable, but I was going to fix it because I was doing my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing my trauma of my childhood. I was going to be the fix-it girl. I'll fix this. He got cancer. I'll fix that. He drinks. I'll fix that. All these things that you do because you haven't healed that inner child. Because like you, I'm, maybe I'm a couple of months or a couple of years ahead I can actually say that I love myself now. And that I couldn't have said that 20 years ago. That was like, it was embarrassing. I thought that was embarrassing and like
egocentric.
Oh my God.
So egocentric.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
exactly.
You love yourself. But no, I mean, I agree. I am actually at a point right now, because every morning I wake up and I say things before I even open up my eyes, affirmations about, all the kind of affirmations of whether I want to be this way or whether I am, but say it in like, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am, I am lovable, I am kind, I am, hello, beautiful world. Let me do what I can today to make it a better place. All of that every single morning before I open my eyes.
Yeah.
I think it's important to start the day off grateful. I think it's important to to go to sleep grateful, no matter what. Even if you've had the shittiest day you can ever imagine.
That's right.
Be grateful for it drawing attention to whatever your focus needs to be on.
Absolutely.
And that's why
you're just saying
whether you believe in
stuff,
God or the universe.
I know. I'm just laughing because you're saying stuff that we talk about all the time. I believe the way that you start your day is so critical. how you
Yep.
your eyes open, and like gratitude, you just got to be thankful. Oh my God, thank you. Look at the sun, whatever it is. And then at night, Bobby and I do a thing where we kind of do we kind of go through the day and catalog it and sort of say, where could I have done something different? Where could I have been better? Where could I have had a response instead of a reaction? Where, like that kind of thing. Because then you're bookending your day with love, and also with awareness, which I think is huge. And also because I believe
Yeah.
that before you sleep, you're kind of programming that computer. So if you say those things, or maybe a quadrinity check, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
amazing.
Or a gratitude
Well,
and appreciation for the end of the day.
Absolutely.
you have a line that you've said before where you said, always find your way back to love.
Mm-hmm.
And putting that on yourself is huge. Always find your way back to love for you. So and I don't want to continue to beat on that. I know we could talk the whole time about it, but there's a couple of quotes that you have said before that the minute I heard you say them or I read them, I instantly wrote them down because I think it's worth sharing with our audience and really kind of emphasizing their genius in what you said. Besides, always find your way back to love. You said, and if not now, you may run out of nows. So you have to do
Yes.
it now. So I want to take that, and plus then couple it with the third thing you said, where you said, if you climb the ladder or the staircase of gratitude, you'll find your way to joy.
Yes.
All three of these things is such an incredible cocktail recipe for self-love. And it's this,
Really
if not
is.
now, you're going to run out of nows, because we've
Right.
all heard stories of people who have said, I'll do that. I'll come see you when I'm better. I'll
Yeah.
see you when I feel like I look better. I'll see
Yeah.
you when I get the baby weight off. Whatever it is, we keep putting it off, and then only
Right.
when there are no more nows. I love those lines that you've said. I think they're great expressions and something we
Thank
really need to
you.
hold true.
And I think and anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yes.
anyone, absolutely anyone, no matter where you are in the world, can feel grateful for something.
Yes.
There may be days, and there were so many days that, and just God, since 2015, it's been so hard. But there have been so many days where I was just like, I didn't want to go on anymore. I'm like, the place would be a better place without me. I just don't want to do this. I would never ever. I don't. But there is that
I know
feeling
it.
like, yeah.
I
But
know
I
it.
know that I never could.
I
It's
know
just
it.
that
I
feeling
know
like
it. It's
it would be
like,
so.
yeah.
I don't want to be in this pain anymore. But then of course Wolfie would come in. There's just no way
Yeah.
I
Right.
could do it. But I felt like, oh, it'd be so much easier if I just wasn't here. I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I always could find something that I was grateful for, whether it just be something as little as Batman coming and rubbing on my leg at that particular moment,
Yeah.
or I don't know, going out and seeing there was actually a beautiful sunset that day, or there was no sunset but the sky looked so beautiful, or
Yeah.
just finding anything in my vicinity to just be grateful for.
Yep.
I have an amazing life. I've built an amazing life for myself. I've been working since I was 12 years old, and I don't
Wow.
spend my money willy-nilly. So I know that sometimes I beat myself up because I'm like, you idiot, you should be grateful for everything, no matter what. Look where you live. But there's still the humanity of the sadness of what's going on in your life and how challenging it feels. I am very, very lucky, and I'm grateful for it. But I also worked really hard for my luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're also if I can be so bold, you're an empath. So you're feeling, what you feel is in your own life. But I also think that you probably tune into a lot of pain all over the world, right? I think women do in general,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's a total generalization, but I think there's this sense of, I think that when you are a mother, there is a sense of like the world, the Weltschmerz, the weight of the world you feel it, right? And
Yeah.
so it's not only your pain, but the pain of all that's going on in the world. And there's stuff.
And now we're inundated with news about it too.
Oh,
And
Nonstop.
I will admit that I can sometimes TikTok scroll a little bit too much, and I need to get off. But I don't. I remember I remember when the Oklahoma City bombing happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it happened because at that time, internet was just starting, so you didn't get news that quickly. I mean, you
Right.
did, but
Right.
but I hadn't heard anything about it. But I just knew I felt so heavy that day. I was so sad, and nothing in my life was really that. I mean, Wolfie was a baby, but there's something that made me feel. Wait, was Wolfie a baby? I don't remember. I don't remember when the bombing was. I just remember that feeling
Yeah.
of heaviness.
Yeah.
Yes, Wolfie was a baby. It happened to must have happened in the early 90s.
Yeah. Oh God.
I don't. I just.
Yeah.
I just remember. And then my therapist telling me what had happened because I was on the phone with her for something, and
Wow.
I thought that must be it because I just feel the heaviness right now, and it's just so freaking sad that things like that can happen, like and 9/11, and I don't want to get into all that. It's just there's a
No,
lot
I
of
know. There's a lot that we
sadness in
take
this world, but
on.
also a lot of joy in the world too.
Totally. And that's kind of why, you know, Melissa's great because she fills me in on all the news because I'm so sensitive that I can't do it. I can't watch it. It gets me like I can't take it in, but she'll like fill me in so that I don't sound like an idiot about world events and things and political things. But
Do it in a Christine Amanpour accent, so you feel
yes,
like you really
so I
just
feel
got
like
there.
I'm really smart.
Yeah. And I want to be so bold here, not to throw too much jocularity into the conversation, but am I crazy in assuming that Batman's a cat and not a lover? You see Batman rubs up on your leg.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Yes, Batman is my cat. One of my cats.
One of
my
your
nannies.
cats.
Batman rubs up on my leg, and I
How
thought,
many
ooh.
cats do you have?
I have 6.
I have 4. It's okay. I get it.
Okay. Well, I had 4, and then when my parents passed, I took their 2 cats because I had to.
Yeah. And there's another thing. You had parents that you cared for, and they, you've been through a lot of heavy stuff that kind of the entire world can relate to. We get older parents, they start to lose their shit, and you have to come in and take care of them. I mean, you have really taken on, yes, there's a lot to be grateful for, but you've taken on a lot in your life, and there's been a lot of stuff laid out at your feet. I commend you. I have such admiration for your ability to pick yourself up and move forward and write a book about it and be raw and real about your experiences. It's admirable, and it's brave, and it's courageous, and it's important, and it gives other people permission to do the same. And that's what I kind of want to do.
That's
with
the
this.
goal.
Yeah. You want to tell people, hey, it's okay. Share it, let it go, move on, feel gratitude. We're all in this together, because we're all interconnected. That's the other thing. We're so connected. Bobby and I talk about 99% space, that we're made up of energy, and we're made up of 99% space. It's this incredible universal, interconnected energy. And yet we deal with 1% of ourselves, right? And we're obsessed with this ego 1% that the vanity, the this, the that, the depression, all that stuff is 1% of us. The 99% of us is what's connected to everyone. So if you don't take care of yourself and you don't look at yourself, when somebody else hurts themselves, they're hurting you. When you hurt yourself, you're hurting others. You know what I mean? Because we are interconnected. So I don't know. I find it, I think life is a wonderful adventure that is to be, dug up and looked at, and okay, I'm in
learn from.
And
we're here to learn.
Yeah, and
this
be
is such an
emotional
amazing learning experience. And the more I learn, the better.
One of the things that we talk about on the Mariel Hemingway Foundation is that one size doesn't fit all. And I want to get some, you in your book, you've got 24 things that you're saying. This is, do this every day, like get up and try to do yoga, read a book, don't speak negative, all these beautiful little mantra things.
That I barely accomplish.
I love it. Listen,
accomplish all of them.
Put one foot in front of the other. And my husband, my children are always calling my husband the graffiti artist because he takes those white erase board markers, and he writes on their bathroom mirrors. So when they get up in the morning, he's like, "I'm wonderful. I'm going to have an amazing day. Thank you, God. I believe something amazing's happening to me today." And they're like, Pop's tagging the bathroom again. So and he says, by you reading it, your body has heard it.
Yeah.
And so we're putting it in there. So I that's our little family thing we do.
That's
I'm
why I
not
used
taking
to
credit.
write notes to Wolfie in his lunch boxes.
Yeah, I
Aw.
love that. Do
Yes.
you
How
journal?
proud I am. Yeah.
Do you journal?
I do now. I do. I mean, I was so back and forth with it. I would be really good at it for a while. I mean, I've got journals going back to like when I was like 14. I still have them. They're hysterical. But I stopped for a while because I was so miserable. I just didn't even want to write it down. And then
Yeah.
I would write some things down and wait, oh, there it goes. Oh, wait, my microphone just helped. I would write some things down just to remember so I could prove to myself that I wasn't going crazy. It's like, no, this happened. Okay. So then now, since taking that weekend Hoffman course, I do it every day now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to journal in a way that I would write the date, write how much I weighed, and then whatever happened that day or what I ate. I haven't gotten on a scale since I finished writing the book because I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. I'm not going to beat
Good.
myself up. I
Good.
know I want to lose weight, but I also know more importantly, I need to love that little girl. And
Yep.
until that little girl feels loved, this weight's going to stay here and protect me. In fact, I've
Absolutely.
thanked this weight because
Yeah.
it got me out of a horrible relationship. This weight protected me. So
Yes.
Yep.
I'm going to thank it, and I thank it every day. I rub my belly and I say, thank you for helping me. I'm sorry that I've treated you so badly, but thank you. I know you're here to protect me. One day I will release you and it'll be good. But right now, I understand that you don't want to be released yet, but I love you. And because I
Brilliant.
need to love my body
Yep.
where I am right now today, even though I don't like the size jeans I'm wearing. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm going to heal that little girl first before
Yes.
this weight releases.
That's
Well,
so
I don't know
brilliant.
whoever said spandex and jeggings weren't in, but they can go to hell because spandex and jeggings come in. And I want to tell you, we have a couple of degrees of separation. My husband Billy used to cut Bonnie Franklin's hair.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Bonnie was up in Ojai living there for a while, and we're in the Ventura Westlake area, and she would come in and get her hair taken care of from Billy. And he would say, "Oh man, I had the biggest crush on Valerie Bertinelli when I used to watch that show." So last night I said to him, "Hey, guess who's going to be on the podcast tomorrow? Valerie Bertinelli." And we almost got in a fight. He got a little too excited. He was like, "Man, I loved her." And I said, "Okay, you know what, cowboy, just simmer down for a few minutes."
Yeah, Bonnie used to have a place in Carpinteria. She used to go
Oh,
up
Yeah.
there a lot.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh man,
beautiful.
that woman was amazing. I was so lucky to be able to work with her at such a young age. She taught me so much.
Oh,
She
I
was
bet. How
Oh,
lovely.
she was
many
lovely.
years were you on the show? One day at a time.
1975 to 1984, 9 years.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Literally
Wow.
started that show. I was a virgin in every sense of the word. And when the show was over, I was 24 and I was a married woman. It was
Wow.
crazy. I mean, to
Wow.
go through those 9 years of your life that are so
Oh,
life changing,
amazing.
In
it's
front of the
kind of
world.
crazy when I think about it now.
Yeah.
In front of the whole world. So people
Yeah.
felt like they knew you. So people felt like they had you grew up with them, so to speak. And so that's why, back to what Mariel said in the beginning, it's so commendable that you thought, you know what, I'm going to address this, because sometimes in the world of celebrity, there's this image thrust upon you, and sometimes we want to hold you there. We,
Yeah.
the
Right.
laymen and women, we want to hold you there because we don't want you to change, which is why we keep making movies about Marilyn Monroe. Everyone wants to hold her
Yeah.
where she was, right? We keep
Right.
doing this to people. So for you to come out and say, this is who I am, this is what I'm going through, this is how I feel, I think you not only have given yourself permission, whether you realize it or not, I know you've given a lot of women and men permission to kind of look at themselves and forgive themselves.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh,
Because
I
we
know
all
you have.
deserve forgiveness. We really need to
Absolutely.
forgive. I don't believe in necessarily forgiving everybody. in your life, sometimes you can just stay mad at people. I was trying so hard to forgive, and I forgot about forgiving myself first.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe once I fully forgive myself, I'll be able to forgive other people that I'm really angry with. And it's very few people. I've been lucky in my life to
Yeah.
have really wonderful people, and there's just a very few people in my life that I'm just like, if I never see you again, it'll be too soon.
I just love the fact
But
that you keep like saying, you know, like you're still working on it. I love that. I mean, it is a work in progress. Every day is like, I never say
every
to
day.
somebody, I found the solution. It's like, here's a pill. There's no, you know, it's every day. You wake up,
No.
some days is, you know, I'm living in Idaho now, and I'm like worried about the winter. Like I'm terrified because we had a all last winter, and I was like, oh, because I got used to California, and you know, like you just every day. My point being, every day is a day to find something new about yourself, and you don't always wake up happy. You're not always a, you know, super loving and kind. Sometimes you snap at the dog or the cat, you know, like, and then you feel horrible because they're so innocent and they just look at you
Because
like,
they
I
don't
still
know.
love
Yeah.
you. And you're like, I know you, but you
Yeah.
really shouldn't. Anyway, I just,
You really shouldn't have peed on the wall. Could you please not do that again?
it's so
Henry?
Totally. Well, you know, our podcast is only a half an hour, so we've got a
Oh,
little
God.
bit over, and we could talk to you forever and ever. And I really hope that you'll come back, and I want you to be a part of our not only the podcast but our foundation. But I'll address that with you
Absolutely.
later because I just
Yes.
think you're amazing,
This
and
is
thank you so much for taking the time to just be so frank and open, and you're so good. You're just infectious.
now I'm going to have. Thank you. But you know what's going to happen now, and this is what I have to work against. I don't know if a lot of people ever feel this way, but now I'm going to get off and go, oh God, what did I say? And I'm going to have a vulnerability hangover, and I want to give myself patience to say, it's okay, whatever you said. Some people will take it and they will hear it and they can use it. Other people will make fun of you. You don't need to worry about those people.
And
So I just
by
want
the
to say,
way,
I'm probably going to have a
I can
vulnerability
tell you, I was
hangover.
listening very carefully. You didn't say anything that couldn't be said. I don't want you to feel
No,
whatever. You were awesome. You're awesome,
you
and
are lovely.
there's
You're a lovely
nothing.
soul.
Yeah, you're a lovely soul, and
You really are. You are.
you never say anything that's like, oh my God, you know, like you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never gross.
No, I feel like, I
listen,
say too
they
much all
edit
the
the
time.
shit out of me, Valerie. Half of my stuff is on the floor because I'm just rude as hell. You are a lovely soul. And when Mariel told me you were going to be on, we were so excited. Thank you so much for doing this. It means the world. And like Mariel said, I want to echo that. I pray you come back.
To both of you. I mean, what you're doing is really, really important. I think mental health in this country and all around the world needs to be looked at more, and we need to just hug people more. I mean,
I know, I
hug
agree.
in a sense of like, you are okay. You'll be
Yes.
okay. We're here to help, and so thank you for doing what you're doing.
100%. Well, we'll send you a link so you can, you know, get it out to your people and then some. Yeah, it would be awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Out Comes the Sun. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, on Apple, and on YouTube. And you can donate to the Mariel Hemingway Foundation at theMarielHemingwayFoundation.org. And I want to spell Hemingway for you, HEMINGWAY.org. I only say that because a lot of people put 2 M's, and that just won't work. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can go to the donate button at the bottom and it will take you right to a link with the QR code. And if you go to marielhemingway.org, you can also press the donate button and be able to donate to the foundation, which is designed to help guide people towards finding the right solutions for their mental health issues. That is my goal. I'm just trying to raise money so I can come up with an app and a website that has all the information you could possibly want to know about mental health and where to go. But we are in the process of making that happen, and your donation means so much to us. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.